What's up, everybody? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw, and we're going into Elseworlds. You heard me right, Elseworlds. Superboy's Legion. Yeah, this is an alternate reality story of what if Kal-El had landed not in the world of the past, but in the world of the future. So strap on in, and here we go. A while back, they were studying different planets. This planet called Krypton, they found a ship, and this ship had a baby. And this baby grew up to be Kal-El in the future. Now, the future is a lot different now. They have an intergalactic society, and this sector is ruled basically by the space police. Not ruled, but they go out there and they do the law thing. Now, they do have certain powerful people, and this is one of them. This is Kal-El of Earth, and basically he's Superboy. And they do not like vigilantes in this world. So he's kind of a menace, a distraction. You know, he's a real good kid, but he does get a little overzealous, and he grabs 2 ice cream cones to kind of make it up to his dad. And he's been going on patrol here and there, but they've been stopping him. They're also getting tired of his antics. He doesn't know his strength. He doesn't have proper training. You know, all that stuff. His father is the police commissioner, so that's what's getting him out of trouble for now. But he's getting tired of Superboy's antics, and he needs to learn how to control his powers, and he needs to learn how to work with the space police. He does need a little more discipline, a little more responsibility, as he did tell him that he does fly off like a kid. Of course, he's a teenager, you know, so you do have to cut him some slack, but still, they need to figure out a way to distract him and to keep him on the straight and narrow. So, you know, he's kind of just having a moment to himself, you know, a little teared up, and then he sees a green light in the distance. Wondering if they need help, Superboy flies over there, and Superboy is the Superboy of the past. That's why he has a little more merits than he does flaws, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, this is a Green Lantern. I believe he's from 318 or 314, somewhere around there. And yeah, Superboy helps him, and he explains the Guardians are kind of like a dying race, a Sinestro War. Other things have basically cleared them out, so their number is dwindling. This is where Superboy kind of gets the idea of getting a group of heroes together to kind of help out. So he begins recruiting, and this is a Saturn Girl and Cosmic Boy, and they're kind of having a little retirement. They're a little older than Superboy, a little more mature. They've actually been in the game a while. They represent different planets. They're basically heroes on their own planets. And of course, they get attacked by an electronic jellyfish, which just looks cool, I have to say. And of course, he's able to siphon the energy off, and she uses her psychic powers to kind of knock the thing out. But yeah, she reaches into his mind, but it's Superboy that does the heavy lifting. He grabs it, pulls it off, and then throws it away. And this is where they kind of decide that they should form a team, and maybe they should, you know, come out of retirement to kind of give Superboy a hand. You know, they kind of like his older brother and sister in some ways. The Legion is a family after all. And this one is actually called Superboy's Legion. Fun fact, in the original Legion, I do believe they rejected him for a while. Anyways, this is a version of Lois Lane, and these people are trying out, doing different powers, and basically everyone from every planet, every, you know, side planet, every corner is basically coming to basically try out. And of course, this guy has fire manipulation, this guy's Colossal Boy, and of course they get membership, and basically everyone's just going through and showing their powers. Not everyone is going to make the cut, but yeah, they got like Element Lad, Shrinking Violet, Bouncing Boy. And these guys are all classic members of the Legion. Also, some other people got rejected. And of course, the Legion does expand eventually. I love this girl. She commands dark forces, a lot like Raven. That's what she uses her magic for. And this is where you find out that Superboy does have a weakness. I mean, Superboy does have weaknesses, but he doesn't have weaknesses like our current Clark Kent does. Magic's one of them, and kryptonite from his world, and a few other things. That's pretty much it. And this is where they decide whether or not this is a good thing, because actually a lot of these people are teenagers and children, send them off to do missions like that. And of course, the space police are wondering the same thing. And these are other people that kind of want to join, thinking about joining. And one of them is Brainiac 5. I want you to pay close attention to that, because it comes up later. And certain races were rejected, but, you know, sooner or later they will take their membership. Now, I'd like you to pay attention to Cosmic Boy and Saturn Girl. They kind of found their niche here. They're really happy, satisfied with this. The other members, like the Karate Kid, for example, that is the Karate Kid, who they did not let in. He knows all kinds of fighting types. And of course, Superboy's flirting with this reporter here, and she shows him there's a meteor coming. And this is where they gather all the troops together and they decide to fly off. But this planet is real bad. Even the quote unquote good guys are bad guys, if you know what I'm saying. And of course, this guy gets betrayed on a heist. He ends up getting shot. And yeah, he's able to get back up, you know, because he has superpowers. And she becomes intangible. And they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. She kind of been goading him to leave the gang life, kind of do something more, you know, honest and responsible. But on this planet, you know, there's a lot of messed up stuff that goes on. And of course, you know, he grabs a chair, you know, he's about to slam it down, and he bumps into a shapeshifter. And this shapeshifter, of course, you know, kind of tells him, you know, we should form a team, we should do other stuff. And he does have other skills. He does transform into other creatures, which is very useful. Big creatures, small creatures. There's a lot of creatures in space this alien can transform into. So they kind of form their own triad, so to speak. And of course, the Legion's going over the plans on what exactly they're going to do, how they're going to do it. And Superboy's not really worried, you know, he thinks he's just going to give it a two-fist punch, and that's pretty much it for the meteor. And of course, Brainiac shows up with his friend. And yeah, he's from Earth, and basically his powers are turn invisible. So just in case, and Brainiac kind of predicts this, just in case something goes wrong, he called in a little bit of help. Starboy, he's a little older, and he does get his powers from the stars, whereas he gets his powers from the yellow sun. And this is interesting. He actually gives him a boost of light that amplifies his powers. And it's funny that he says it tickles. But as he's distracted, the meteor falls more and more, and he goes all the way around the planet to smash into it. And the Superboy comes right into it, smashing, destroying the meteor. And one big boom, he did it. The Saturn girl reaches out trying to find him. He's safe. They bring him back in. And they have saved the Earth, or have they? As one of the people points out. And this guy is just basically a jerk. He grabs Superboy and just starts telling him, you know, all these meteors, you just caused a bigger problem because all these small ones are going to cause damage. And that's when Superboy kind of gets on his ass and calls him Stupid Boy, and he realizes that they have a team. You know, like I said, Elemental Lad, Colossal Boy, you know, just basically Sun Boy. You know, it's just interesting how they have their names. And they're just going through and taking care of everything. And just made that guy look like an idiot. As the Legion looks for survivors, people. Like, they couldn't stop everything, but they're trying to. So, you know, they did help all the survivors. There were a few meteors they didn't get, and plus, this area has been at war and been damaged for a long time. And meanwhile, while these guys are working in the background, someone sees something of interest and pulls them off their current mission in order to go get that. It's Brainiac 5, but why would they need him? As the Legionnaires are celebrating a little bit, Starboy kind of tells them the difference between grabbing glory and actually doing the job. Because Superboy is young, you know, and he needs discipline. Starboy's been out there for a long time, and he's really not in for the ink. He just does his job. But all of a sudden, they're attacked by the Fatal Five. Yes, the Fatal Five. And they've come from Persuader, Mano, the Emerald Empress, Half a Man, and Valand. Something like that. Anyways, they begin attacking them, and keep in mind, this is a group of killers. They know how to do their job. They know how to take over a situation. They do have the experience in this. And the Emerald Empress does something very smart. She actually covers Superboy in magic, which is one of his only weaknesses. And of course, these guys are trying to play for keeps, but they do not have the experience that the Fatal Five has. They just do not have it. And they're being outmanned, but I love this girl. She had a good idea trying to cover up the eye, but the eye is just too powerful. And of course, Shrinking Violet doing her Atom thing, she's swatted away by Half a Man. And this is brilliant. This kid that controls magnetics actually uses his half a body against him. But they have wheels within wheels and plans within plans because they're after Brainiac. Brainiac uses his own personal force field. Of course, this guy's helmet disappears. It ends up being his human friend, who basically gets taken hostage. But Mano falls to the ground because Starboy knocks him out, and he wants revenge because he helped destroy his planet. But as soon as he gets the upper hand, he's attacked by basically the muscle. And this guy may not be smart, but he is powerful. He is a living dynamo of energy. And of course, a lot of the Legion is trying to basically beat him up, but he is just that strong. And of course, the prize they have is at hand. As the Emerald Empress shows off her martial arts skills, one of them tries making a portal, but the Persuader cuts off his hand. He literally cuts off his hand. That's how dangerous these people are. Of course, one of the other members jumps in to sacrifice himself in order to basically stop him from killing his friend. Brainiac has to turn off his force field, though, to give this guy first aid, and that's the opportunity they need. That is the opportunity. And basically attacks him with everything he has, knocking Colossus Boy down. Half a man does take Brainiac 5. But why? As they disappear into the portal, leaving Superboy just basically dumbfounded and helpless, as one of their members is critically injured and the other one lie dead. And now the Fatal Five wonder what they're going to do with their captive, what the plans are in store for Brainiac, and why they took him in the first place. And then someone walks out of the light. Who is this mysterious figure? It's none other than Lex Luthor. What's he doing here? What does he mean he has plans that he's set over for millennia, and why is his eye red? And what are his plans for the Legion and Superboy? Well, as always, we'll find out the next time, won't we? And I'll catch you on the flip side, yeah!